Yeah, this your girl Ray doing another video real quick. 914, Westchester County, New York. We always on top, never gonna be on the bottom. Yeah, but I was sharing a video earlier today about why I think about everything that happened to me. It's like all these memories are just coming, just flooding. I woke up this morning feeling happy, energetic. I had a positive attitude. And the next thing I know, I go to where I'm supposed to go and I'm feeling anxious. I'm feeling angry. And I'm feeling like I'm going up for parole hearing. That's not supposed to be happening in my real life. Because prison is done with. It's gone. I think it's a distant memory, but it is not. It's a close memory. Everything keeps flooding back. SMU, working on the yard, working in the kitchen, working in the sewing plant. I learned my best skills working in the sewing plant. I was in school at night when I was at Leith Correctional Facility. But I lived on lockup for like 3 years and 9 months because I did not want to bow down to the rules of the prison. I didn't want to follow their rules. I didn't want to follow their policies. I didn't give a fuck about none of that. And I was in my 20s. So I went on lockup at 22 and did not get out of lockup until I was close to 26 years old. When I maxed out of prison, I was 28. 28 years old. If I was to do therapy right now, I would have to do therapy that addresses dual diagnosis. Dual diagnosis means you have a mental illness and you have a substance abuse problem. And one thing I never wanted to do was face my substance abuse problem. I started drinking alcohol at 8 years old. When I got my first taste of alcohol, I couldn't stop. Even if I wanted to. I can go months without it. I can go years without it. But when I pick up that bottle again, I just start binging. I'm like a binger. I binge. But it's gonna catch up to me. All this smoking cigarettes, that's gonna catch up to me too. Because I used to suffer with asthma when I was a young child. My asthma symptoms didn't show back up until I got in my 40s. It is what it is. But I don't buy inhalers. I buy lemon. I buy honey. I buy garlic. I buy all these different things. I inhale the honey in a brown paper bag when I'm having trouble breathing. But because I have so much weight on me now, and I'm trying to exercise, trying to get rid of this weight, I'm trying to get rid of all this weight real quick. And I'm giving myself a certain time to get rid of it. It took me 10 months to gain it. It should take me 10 months to get rid of it. Go back to my regular size. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I remember my younger years going to school, public school, in New York. And my parents that was raising me was very serious about education. If you got something wrong, trust me, you got beat. You came home with a bad report card, you got beat. My younger sister, she's a military woman. She said she went into one of them folders in the back room my parents used to share. And she said, Ray, they saved all your old report cards. I said, what do report cards say? D's and F's? She said, no, Ray, you was a straight A and B student. But as you got older, you started rebelling against the school system. Remember, Madonna was out around that time. Sinead O'Connor was out around that time. These were the two most rebellious women in the music industry at that time. I used to listen to them. I used to listen to Guns N' Roses, Alice in Chains. As I got older, I loved the music from the 1930s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. But when that heavy metal was playing real close, I used to take time and listen to the heavy music of heavy metal. Guns N' Roses, Alice in Chains, Ozzy Osbourne. When Madonna came out, I used to listen to her. I'm a Madonna fan to the heart. I listen to Billie Holiday. I listen to Big Mama Thornton. I listen to Phyllis Hyman. I listen to Amy Winehouse. I listen to Lady Gaga. I listen to Adele. I listen to Whitney Houston. I listen to Michael Jackson. I listen to Tupac Shakur. Tupac Shakur was my favorite rapper. He was my favorite. I was in prison when he died. I was in prison when Biggie died. It is what it is. I'm just trying to figure out what's going on upstairs and in my heart. Because a lot of the music I like, my love partners do not like that music. They don't. Only one. And that was a female. And she used to listen to Adele. Remember when Adele did that song, Chasing Pavements? Me and KK used to walk down the street and she would immediately go into that song. I knew the words. I sung the words with her. She said, Ray. I said, well, yes. When KK disappeared, I didn't know why she was disappearing so much. But the woman was trying to have my back behind the scenes. That's why I love women so much. I love women more than I love men. But I know I'm coming to a place where I can no longer be with either one. I have to retire. I have to. It is what it is. I look at the YouTubers on YouTube. I look at the YouTube creators that's here now. And I said, thank God for them. Because if it wasn't for you guys, I'd be back in jail or in the hospital, living on a mental ward. It's something about me that I just can't put my finger on. I know the truth, but I don't want to see the truth. When I met my biological mother years ago, she said, Ray, I don't mean no harm, but I didn't really want to have you. When I was pregnant with you, I was angry with your father. And I was angry with you. She was angry. And I said to myself, it is what it is. My mother, she started out being a Christian. She went to the Nation of Islam in 1968. She left in 1974. My mother says she went and searched all these different religions. She went into different cults. She joined different organizations. And last but least, she went into Buddhism. Nam Yo Renge Kyo. That chanting. She taught me to chant. Nam Yo Renge Kyo. I said, okay. My mother learned how to speak Japanese behind that. My mother was always a big sponge. She loved to learn stuff. And I will always love her. I will always respect her. But I know in my heart, to me, she is dead. Even though she's still living. All my other parents are dead. My adoptive parents are dead. My biological father is dead. I had to sit with my father while he was dying. He never said he used to padlock the apartment. He never said those things. His sisters told me. And one of them is dead too. She's dead. Actually, both of his sisters are dead. Aunt Cynthia and Aunt Ernestine. And I remember them. And every time I hear Rainie's voice, I'm hearing Aunt Ernestine all over again. That's why I listen to Rainie. That's why I believe in Rainie. Where I hear Lonnie One Love, I'm listening to Aunt Cynthia all over again. So this is nothing but a 360-degree cipher. And I have to stand strong on my square. But the square I'm standing on points me in a direction of anger, bitterness, confusion, loneliness, depression. It puts me in a workaholic mood where I love to work more than I love being at home. More than I love my own bed, my own bed sheets. I keep everything clean. But I have to know in my mind, Is my mind clean? I listen to these women. I appreciate them. And they don't know how much they are doing. They just think they're on an app doing, their content. But no, it's deeper than that, my sisters. Miss 504, I listen to her voice. It's deeper. You know who Miss 504 remind me of? Miss 504 remind me of a young woman I knew years ago. Her name was Cherry. And Cherry was very serious about life. Unfortunately, Cherry went into the group home system in New York. And she was afraid to do that. But Cherry was a runaway. Cherry was a shoplifter. Just like I was. Shoplifter, a runaway. Then later on, I became depressed. I became a self-mutilator. I went to hospitals to get mental health treatment. Didn't know at the time I was an alcoholic. I'm a full-blown alcoholic. Full-blown. I'm not dependent on it physically. Because when I wake up in the morning, I don't get the shakes. I don't have to shit. I don't have to throw up. I don't do none of that. But I love the feeling that alcohol gives me. I love it. And I call the alcohol my gatekeeper. I'm the Jeepers Creeper on YouTube, but where is my gatekeeper? I'm not talking about other YouTubers. I'm talking about alcohol. Everything. Alcohol. Alcohol. Prison. Prison. Jail. Jail. Penitentiary attitude. It is what it is. 914 Westchester County, New York. We always on top, never gonna be on bottom. Peace out. Love y'all.